Right now on KGW, 2 students are dead after a school shooting near Nashville, including the suspected shooter. Plus, the reaction to President Trump's first executive orders. The state's now suing, calling the orders unconstitutional. Also, the latest on the wildfires in Southern California as the burned areas face a new threat, this time from rain. And the man accused of carjacking a tow truck near the Moda Center now faces trial. Why his attorneys say the charges don't take the whole situation into account. Your news at noon starts right now. Thank you for joining us. I'm China Green. We start with breaking news. Police say a 17-year-old male student shot 2 female students in the cafeteria of a high school near Nashville, Tennessee. One of those students shot died, and the other is in the hospital. The shooter then took his own life. The Nashville Metropolitan Police Department told NBC News that police responded to a shooting at Antioch High School just after 11 a.m. our time.
From the investigation to this point, we know that at 11:09 a.m., a person who has been identified as a 17-year-old, armed with a pistol, fired multiple shots in the cafeteria of the school. The individual wounded 2 other students, one of them fatally, before shooting and killing himself.
That high school has more than 2,000 students. 2 student resource officers were in the building at the time of the shooting, but were not in the cafeteria. An additional student was injured, but not from a gunshot wound. Oregon and Washington have joined a multi-state lawsuit over President Trump's executive orders ending birthright citizenship. So far, 22 states have signed onto the lawsuit. Attorneys generals for Oregon and Washington called the move unconstitutional.
Generations of policymakers and lawmakers in this country, from the Supreme Court to Congress, and until now the executive branch, have upheld this right throughout our history.
Washington's AG also filed a temporary restraining order to keep the policy from going into effect. Meantime, many Republicans are defending the president's immigration orders. That includes the sole Republican member of Oregon's congressional delegation. Congressman Cliff Bentz says he thinks the executive order ending birthright citizenship will likely be a tough fight that could go all the way to the Supreme Court. He believes people have been taking advantage of the current laws.
Being a citizen of the United States is a huge deal. It's a wonderful thing to be a citizen of this country, and I don't blame them for wanting that citizenship for their children, but I do not think that this is what the people writing the Constitution had in mind.
Congressman Bentz also said that he believes sanctuary cities like Portland are breaking the law and added those cities are setting themselves up for conflict with the Trump administration. And hundreds of people gathered at Waterfront Park in downtown Portland to protest President Trump during what was his first full day in office. KGW's Catherine Cook was there and talked with some of the organizers.
Who here is enraged that Trump took office yesterday?
At Waterfront Park in downtown Portland.
Okay, and who here is ready to fight?
About 200 people said they would fight Donald Trump's second presidency.
In his first few minutes of becoming president, Trump signed more executive orders than we can count. It was a huge abuse of presidential power.
Cody Urban is with International League of People Struggle. He says this night was about empowering people who need hope.
We all came out feeling very scared and confused in November, and we're here feeling a lot more ready to weather what comes next. That's the biggest achievement that we've been able to win since Trump was elected.
When women's rights are under attack, what do we do? Rise up, fight back.
Organizers poured out extra support for immigrants, labor unions, and LGBTQ communities, groups they say Trump is targeting once again.
Building community and coming together is our best defense against any attacks that we may see as migrants, whether that's in the workplace or on our citizenship or any other processes that we're a part of.
Carolyn Pavlovich is with Bayan Oregon Alliance. Her goal is not just gathering people at rallies, but identifying who here needs help as the nation shifts.
It's really important that we come together to educate ourselves on our rights and also find ways to assert those rights too.
Catherine Cook, KGW News.
And following the rally, police arrested 5 people who were part of a large group that began marching downtown. Police say that they witnessed all 5 engaging in criminal activity during the march. 2 of them were caught spray painting graffiti. Police told the crowd that they would not interfere with the march, but would also not tolerate any criminal behavior. All 5 of those people arrested are due in court today. Our John Adams will have more on this evening's KGW's news at 4. You can also stay up to date with the latest by visiting our website at kgw.com or download our streaming app on KGW+. Rod Hill, I think the word of the day was frosty.
Yes, really thick, and we're not done with these cold, frosty nights. I do begin with our continuing trend of these cold nights. So I've showed you this before. This all started Saturday when PDX got down to 32. The white numbers are actual lows. The blues are the records. We've never approached any of these daily records. It was 26 on Sunday. We had some wind Monday morning. That kept us above freezing at 36. We were 28 yesterday morning. And this morning, by 1 degree, the coldest we have been during the stretch. PDX dipped down to 25. The record for today's date is 9. The overall range, another day with it being low to upper 20s this morning. It was 21 in Vancouver, 22 Hillsborough, and 22 in McMinnville. Overall, it likely was the coldest we've been so far. 22, as I mentioned, McMinnville. Salem was 25 degrees. It was 23 out in Hood River and 21 in the Dalles. But the sunshine is doing its thing. Lincoln City right now up to 46 degrees. We have beautiful sunshine over downtown Portland. After that cold start, we're at 41. We'll be 47 at 4 o'clock. So I do believe we'll get up into the upper 40s for a pleasant afternoon. Back to you.
Thank you, Rod. Police are investigating after a man says he was stabbed in Southwest Portland. This happened shortly after 11 o'clock last night near Southwest 12th and Main. The victim is expected to be okay. The person or people who did this left before officers got there. And we also want to let you know about a missing teenager from Vancouver. So take a look at your screen here. Police say 14-year-old Elizabeth Munoz Santana was last seen just before 6 o'clock last night near Washington Elementary on East 32nd, wearing a black hooded sweatshirt, black sweatpants, and brown Ugg boots. She's 5'2" with brown eyes and her hair is dyed red. So if you see her, contact Vancouver police. All right, so this is video at the center of a trial for a man accused of carjacking a tow truck, driving it onto a freeway, crashing into a semi, all of that while the truck driver was hanging on to the back of the truck. Now, defense attorney for the suspect argued that some of the charges against him don't take into account what's going on that day. KGW's McCarty explains.
Inside a Multnomah County courtroom Tuesday afternoon, a jury watched this video of a crash following the carjacking of a tow truck.
With Mr. Christ still hanging on for dear life, it is a miracle that this man did not die.
On July 10th, 2023, a tow truck driver by the name of Travis Christ was in the process of towing a car after a wreck near the Moda Center. But before he knew it, the suspect, Eric Streitzel, made a move. Here's his defense attorney.
Unhoused, unmedicated, unstable. He didn't exactly know what was happening moment to moment. He was walking barefoot on the steel bridge. He saw a tow truck idling with no one in it, and without pausing, he jumped into that tow truck and he threw it in drive.
Is that you jumping on the back?
That is correct.
See you holding your phone. What are you doing?
Calling PD at that point.
911?
That is correct.
Christ took the stand on day one of the trial, recalling what was going through his head as he clung to the back of his own vehicle.
Why chase down the man stealing this very expensive vehicle?
It's instinct. I don't have a fight or flight mechanism in the flight portion of it.
Traveling first through Old Town, then onto the freeway. Footage shows the speeds increasing, the truck weaving in and out of traffic, and Christ still holding on in the back. Then turning around to, as he stated, brace himself.
I was just watching cones flying out of the way. A lot of debris started coming up. I was kind of hoping he would have stopped long before this portion
The truck would eventually come to a stop after video shows it slamming into a semi, then swerving onto the shoulder. The aftermath displayed in these pictures to the jury, as the defense argued the suspect was struggling with his mental health.
Those videos show pretty much everything, which means they will also show you that this was the result of impulse and not intent.
Alma McCarty, KGW News.